I mean, I think human nature is to think that we're going to be able to show up on Saturday and fix all our problems. You're not able to. Human nature is I can live however I want to live, and I'll show up on Saturday and I'll be a good football player. It's just not true. Eventually your habits, behaviors, your decisions catch up to you. And in our game, again, this is a game where 11 people need to be on the same page. You have 1 million reps every day of discipline, respect, and spirit. Let's capture all those reps, and let's make sure that who we are as people is ingrained, because our personal character will show up in our team character. And it's a little bit of what I said in the big room too, but part of winning close games, those games are a measure of who you are, not just as a team, but I think as a collection of people too.
Coach, what can you say about Diego as a teammate, as a leader, and how important he is to the program?
Yeah, Diego's one of my favorite people in the world. I knew quickly, I got to know quickly that I got to know his confidence. But I think what people miss on him some is the level of humility that he has, the curiosity he has. This is where I have such an incredible respect for him, because for all the swagger he plays with, and we need that too, by the way. Like I embrace this edgy, tough, God, I mean, I love the fact that you never know quite what he's going to say, but we want him to be himself, and we want him to bring it, and his teammates expect that of him. But that is complemented with this guy who is totally process-driven, who's totally focused on what he wants. We celebrate competitors when they want to win more than they want to lose, fill in the cliche you want. And we excuse them when they're throwing a tantrum because they don't get their way. They have a tough outing and a bad snap and they're throwing a fit, and we say, oh, he's just so competitive. Well, that's not being competitive to me. That's being immature. Diego Pavia is a competitor. He knows he's not entitled to winning. And so his best moments are our worst moments, where he is steadying the sideline and able to look people in the eye and say, count on me. Here we go. This is the course we're setting. When we had adversity last season, it wasn't like he was pointing the finger anywhere else. He was focused on the work. That's a coach's dream. And so I just, when people watch him play and you enjoy that swagger, and again, look, my kids have a little more street cred at school because of him. I appreciate that too. But behind all of that is a process-driven, curious, respectful person who is going to be able to sustain a career as long as he wants. And that's what I want people to know about Diego Pavia.
You had a great first year playing in the SEC. What did you learn from that? Did you think you can build on for even a better season this year?
Yeah, I think last year I kind of got banged up at the Kentucky game. And so just maybe, being in the training room more, that's something that I worked on in this offseason, just make sure my body's prepared. Because after that game, my production kind of fell off. And I got to be there for my teammates, and so they'll expect a lot out of me this year. And, we can't wait for this great season.
Just from maybe a notoriety standpoint, how much do you think the win over Alabama may have helped grease the wheels of the NCAA case? You were a public figure at that point when maybe different things might have transpired.
Well, I think the win over Alabama was big from a Vanderbilt standpoint of just allowing us to go get talent, and then it eventually helped us go to a bowl game. Each one of those 6 wins was important. But that one in particular, obviously they're the #1 ranked team in the country. But when it comes down to it, every win was important. And I think that one was because we finally got people to believe kind of in Vanderbilt football. And so from here on out, obviously we got to win more games to get the things done that we want. So winning solves everything. Well, for my case, I don't know, maybe I asked the judge that one. But, I was just super fortunate that I got clear to go.
Middle section, 4th row.
Diego, Noah Chast, ABC Columbia. I believe on the Bustin' with the Boys podcast, you alluded to a certain game that was circled on your calendar. It was a South Carolina game. I'm curious why that was or why that is.
Right. Obviously, South Carolina is they got great talent there. I feel like we fell short of that game by a mile. And obviously, they beat us. I think it was 28-7. But we're going to focus on Charleston Southern first, and then we'll get to Game 3 when we get there. But obviously, they are coached by Coach Beamer, and he's a great coach too. And so we'll be super excited to go play on the road in that environment when Game 3 comes.